Okay. Let's begin.
You can start, Mazar, with your problem.
What I start?
With the problem with the 13.
I can't get your voice. I'm sorry. Let me figure out what's the problem.
She's talking about the problem you posted on the chat just
Yeah,
recently.
is the 13. I think the 13 number of the assignment.
Yeah. I want to share my screen.
Okay.
Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I wrote the code like this.
Okay.
It's 13. For this part,
If
yes,
okay.
13. For this part that we get accept,
Mm-hmm.
it's working. But for default
Okay.
part, I can't get reject. It is just exit the program.
Mm,
Like, for example, if I'll give 2 and 70, which we don't have, look, it's just exit the program. Didn't get reject answer. There is something a little bit.
Okay. I just want to clarify on the first case. So you're saying case if whatever value is greater than or equal greater than or equal to 3.0 or less than 3.0? Is that correct?
It's grade and equal because they said that a grade point average of 3
Yeah.
or higher.
Yeah.
It means equal and higher,
Mm-hmm.
more.
mhm.
And a point average is less than 3.
Okay. But if you put down the first condition, it has to consider either or, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying. Like maybe this could be an error too, technically.
I think, yeah, I also think that it's maybe for like I gave 2.1, it is less than 3. And
Yeah,
it's not
that's less than 3, but in the case condition, it's kind of accepted because it is less than 3, right?
less than 3, but we need to give also test score.
And
If
then
test
if
score
test score,
60 or 80, it is acceptable.
okay. So what if I get 2.7 and I get a 60? I should
For
technically fail, right?
let me check. 2.1 and 60. It's acceptable.
Okay, what if I get 2.1
Maybe
and
to
50?
give and no,
Yeah,
with 50, okay, same. Maybe to give and
because the way I'm seeing it, it seems like a logic problem.
like
Yeah,
50. Look,
because
it exit. It just exit
it
the
never
program.
it never go in default because the always cases in enter in the if because it's bigger and equal 3 or less than the 3. No,
Yeah,
it
so that could be anything.
always, yeah, always he's still in if.
Yeah, I
So
think
I think
yeah,
you
you're
need
Yeah.
fine.
to do two ifs. You need to do one if for lesser,
Maybe I'll send the code to group, to our group, and close my screen. Then you can share your screen and show what's the problem. Like this.
okay,
Okay.
okay, I think,
Okay. Do you want to show him Vandalise? Or do you want me to
Okay.
show it?
I close my
I
screen and
think
send the code.
I do this in assignment 4. Let me see, 1 minute.
No worries, go for it.
It's number 3.
Can you share? I gave accept to everyone.
Okay, I will show. Can you see my word?
Yeah.
No?
Yes, we can see it now.
You can see.
Yeah, we can see now.
Okay. So I do this in the assignment 4. I put in the case bigger and equal 3, and I do one if
Okay, it's
equal
acceptable.
acceptable, else reject. And then I do default if in this case is lesser than 3 and test score is bigger or equal 18, accept, and else reject.
Reject. Okay.
Interesting. Okay. I see what this logic is.
And yeah, in
But
this way is work.
I have a question
But
though. Why do you guys use if and else statements and cases together? Why not just make a nested if statement, right? Because the case
yeah.
statements are essentially just easier ways to make nested if statements.
I think you can use the second if inside of the case.
also,
Yeah, because we can use if in one case.
You can, but it's going to be like if and then else if. Do you get it? Like if
Yeah.
it meets the first
uh-huh.
condition, then it can go to the next one. Oh, sorry, it goes if this happens, you put another. You said if this happens, then this can happen, and this happens,
Mhm.
then this happens. I mean, this looks cleaner though, so I'm not complaining. But like we learned about nested, and he did talk about how you can nest some conditions in if else conditions, right? So
Mhm.
I mean, this
But
makes more sense in my head though.
you didn't give a less than 3 because in your second in default you wrote just if it's more and equal, it's not more, just equal 80 and equal 60, and in a default you need to put like grade yes, grade less than 3. You have such instruction.
Or are you
It,
saying
it's
the okay, one sec.
it's because in
You
case
in case
bigger and
I'm
equal
sorry,
3,
in case you put more and equal 3, right? But we have in instruction that we need to give like less than 3 and equal 80.
Yeah, is in default. Is this?
But you don't have, what is it? You
So,
give 80, and what is score, a grade? You gave score, not grade.
Okay,
Just you need to give,
grade.
you need to give grade less than 3 and score equal 80, then it's acceptable. You just gave 80. With 80, it will accept. You
Yeah,
need to
but
give,
when when you use switch, you put the grade here, okay?
yeah, you put it.
Yeah, and then the
No,
first case, if
I
it
see what
is
I see. No,
bigger
when
and
there's
equal 3, enter here. And else, in default, he enter here.
no, I don't mean, sorry, I don't mean this. For case, you need to give less than 3 and equal AD to get accept. Just we need to give grade and score together.
Yeah,
Like in
yeah.
first, you gave grade more and equal 3 and score is equal 60. For score
Mm-hmm.
equal 80, you need to also give less than 3 grade.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. But
Yeah.
in default, is the same? Is the same lesser than 3? We need don't put this here,
No, of course it
you
will
know?
not work.
We
Then you
don't need
need to
to put
give
this.
case 2, like case 1 and case 2.
I I can do this.
In my
Yeah,
code, the
use.
case part is okay. Why I can't get reject in default, I don't know. Okay, I'll figure out. We have time. I'll find what's
yeah.
the problem.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
personally, this code does make sense. Does your code work, Annalise, when you try it out on
yeah,
six
yeah,
line?
work.
Okay.
Here the
Yeah. And it
screenshot
shows too.
I take.
Okay,
Yeah,
you gave
if
3,
it's
and then just
3 and 6,
put
accept.
for grade put 2 point something less than 3. It will not work.
I put here
You
2.9 and 8,
okay?
accept. 2.7 and 7.9, reject. It's
Okay.
work because
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see. Yeah,
I
yeah.
sent this in assignment 4. It's work.
It works.
Because when you
Yeah,
look at
yeah,
it
work.
logically, it applies. That's why I get it. Like when I read it, when I'm the computer, I read it line by line. It makes sense. That's the thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm saying for your code, Ansar, I realize that you're putting two or conditions, right? So it could be
Yeah.
either or. And then in your second one, you're putting an and statement. So now that's interesting because now you're saying if case, let's say I score a 2.5, right? That meets the first condition, which is the case, because my case can be either less than 3.0 or more than 3.0. Cool. Now, if I go to the second condition, test score has to be 60 and test score has to be 80. Now, that means that my test score has to be between 60 and 80. And that doesn't make sense in my head, right?
And what about, for example, if you gave for grade 3.5 or
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
and score 80?
So that's what,
It's it must not acceptable.
are you saying for
It's
Vandalisa's code or yours?
No. Like Vandalis gave 2.9 and 80, it's acceptable. Okay.
Yeah.
But
okay.
if we gave grade more than 3 and score 80, will it acceptable or reject?
Acceptable because he entered in the first if in the first case.
Can you just write it in code and try what I said?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
1 minute.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Will it work? It must not work with grade more than 3 and 80. It need to be less. Will it reject or not?
That's interesting though. We can use case and if else statements inside the case. I mean, that makes sense in my head though. Yeah, you can do that.
You can see my video studio
No, we
or not.
show
No,
your
but
word document.
we'll trust your word on
Okay,
the results.
and now.
Oh, yeah, now we can see it.
Okay,
But we can't see
Okay,
the tab when you click the thing. Yeah, we don't see that. Oh, yeah, we don't see it.
you don't see the results,
We don't see
yeah?
the results.
How can I share this, you know?
just stop this and choose another one. Or
Now.
yeah,
Yep.
now we are seeing.
Okay, and we put 3.9.
For grade more than 3,
So put
Okay,
3.5 or 39.
3.5, okay,
okay, and
and
80.
80.
Look, it's acceptable. For this case, you cannot get more than 3. You need for 80, you need less than 3. In this form, it must reject, not accept.
Oh, no, no, no,
Why?
no, no.
Why? I
If you
don't understand.
if you read the question, he clarifies that the grade point of 3.0 or higher with an admission score at least of 60 is pass. At least of 60. So it has to be higher than 60.
Because in
Yeah,
instruction, it said less than 3 and equal to 80.
Less than 3?
That form must be acceptable, not other form. AD must be with less than 3, not more than 3.
No, no. I
three
mean, the
or
question.
higher.
I'm sorry, you guys were saying?
I don't know, maybe I am wrong. I am understanding that point wrong.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think you're getting the wrong conclusion. So if you read question 13,
Because in instruction it's written that a
yeah,
grade point average less than 3
yeah,
dot point 0 and an admission test score of at least AD.
yeah, at
This
least.
this condition must be acceptable, not 3.5 and 80, less than 3, 2.9 to 1.2 and 80. Maybe I am wrong. I am understanding
Wait.
wrong.
Let me read the question. A grade point average of less than 30.
Your code is working, Amanda, but in this point,
Oh, the
what's in
condition.
the
I read it.
instruction and code, I think it's not same.
This statement. A grade point.
Now, when I'm writing on, I am giving
Well,
them, when I'm
no.
in the answer, I'm typing several forms to get right
So
things.
technically she's right because the grade point meets the first condition. It doesn't meet the second condition. If you read the first condition, the grade point beats the 3.0, right? So it doesn't need to go to the second point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
So she meets already the first case, so she doesn't need to go down further. You get it, Mansar?
Why she doesn't need second
So
form?
if you want to go back to your code, Manlise, it's because it reaches the first statement. So her first part of the code is actually the statement of her code. The second part is the grade point less than 3.0, right? But she
Yeah.
already met the first condition. So the code only follows that condition until it fulfills whatever's in it. If not, it goes to the else statement, which means it's going somewhere else. So in her first statement, she already says the case has to be greater than 3.0. So if the kid has a 3.0, then he already meets the first condition. So they're going to follow what's in the case now. If it
Maybe
didn't meet the
I'm
3.0, it goes to the next one.
maybe I'm not typing 3 and 60. Maybe I'm typing 3.1 and 80.
So let me check your code.
I'm checking the second condition, not like how second condition. It's not second condition. It is the both conditions, like acceptable conditions, are same. They are equal. We can use first or second, but they are equal for us. Maybe I'm not giving 3.0 and 60. I'm giving 2.5 and 80. I need to get a same result for both of them.
I mean, let's try to simplify the question first. I think you're trying to come with a different logic answer, which could make sense in your head, but we're trying to simplify it in our points, right? So I at least made it really simple, where she's like, if the GPA is this, here's the first condition, and if the test score is this, this is acceptable. If not, with this GPA that already meets the first case, it turns into the else statement.
Yeah,
That's
no,
true.
for that, in my code, I don't have problem with case
Okay.
with grade and test score. In my code, what I problem I got in reject. It's not rejecting. It's just exit the program. Like I don't write console write line reject. Just putting a grade and score, and it gives exit. Okay,
So
I
does it
fixed
say
my.
accept or
There
does it
is something
reject?
I don't know. With code, it's okay. I like how Vandal is also wrote. My part is the reject part. The problem part in my code is reject. Why it's not giving reject?
But does it
Okay,
give you
I'll
accept?
fix it. What?
Does it give you accept or does it not give you anything?
Yeah, it's acceptable for both of them, 3 and 16 and less than 3 and 18. I get
Oh,
accept part. I can't get a reject part. Default part is not working on my code.
now can you test this? Because you're putting and. So and is like this. It's not this or that. It's this and this, right? So it has to be in between. So if you check your code now, if you wrote a GPA of 2.5, but you put a score of 90, you
Yeah.
should 60. It should go to reject. If it goes to accept, it's because the test score is not being read right.
Okay, let's not to lose time in this. I'll figure out what
Yeah,
to
no
do.
worries. If
Yeah,
anything, when I'm reading your code, the case is trying to say that your grade GPA has to be greater than 3.0 or less than 3.0. That means any GPA can go through. So your first case already takes every input for GPA. And I think, okay, that's okay, but then you're gonna have to separate it later on, right? With Vandalise, she puts if your GPA is 3.0, it goes to this case. If it's not 3.0, it can go to the second case, but she doesn't need a second case. She could just go to default. Because the second case, she could put another condition saying if test score is this, then accept it. If not, it goes to the else statement, is rejected. And default is already like any grade that's less than 3.0 goes rejected. And if it's less than 80, that's also rejected.
yeah.
Right? But if it's greater than 80, instead of getting rejected, it's like, oh, what your GPA is low, but your admission test is high, so it's accepted. Right? It's a bit of a
Yeah.
logical, like step by step, right? It's a different way to approach it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to next question.
Okay.
Yeah, first question.
So wait, let me pull up last week's assignment. I don't know if you guys did question 9 for assignment 4, because I didn't do it, but I just wanted to ask how you guys.
Assignment for which question?
It's question 9. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Nice.
Just share your screen, we'll look at it.
Yeah, no worries. Let me.
Yeah, when sharing, it's more easier.
Sorry.
Let me open the assignment for.
All right. Go. Assignment 4. So assignment for question 9. So I didn't do this question, but I just want to
Question
ask
9.
how you guys approach this question.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I do this.
Yeah, if you guys did this question, you can just tell me, or you can show me your code. It doesn't matter. It's just I want to understand how, because the way I try to approach this question is because it asks for randomization, right? So that's question 7, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly. The randomization. Oh, here it is. The randomization, but the randomization involves integers, right? So then you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to convert those into char, or you have to use the integers to like tell the computer like these numbers mean this value. And if
Oh,
these
you passed it.
values came this, then this is the answer, right? So I want to try to figure out how people approach this question, because when I approached it took me a
I
while.
Yeah, I used for this one in this random if else if and else.
So you wrote if else, but then if else to what? Numbers or if else to characters?
No, I gave integer.
So you use integer, and you labeled your integers based off. Okay, I see what you mean.
I
So
I
so
used
you did
like
one in the computer. You say 1 is raw, 2 is string, but you didn't say it to the computer. You just wrote it as like a comment, right? So then if it chooses 1, you're like, okay, if user is paper and is R, then this happens.
yeah, but
Okay.
I use integer variant. When we talk about later that I think you said you use string for that, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I use a string.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
that's
used string,
interesting.
I used integer. We did different forms because after submission we talk about it. I remember that she said she used string
Okay.
Yeah, I use a string. I use a list string.
because we are using if inside if case. If as we can use integer and string, both of them.
Yeah, and
Mm.
then I use if else, if else.
Okay, so you guys wrote just a lot of if else, if else, if else.
Oh,
Okay.
you use twice if else.
Yeah.
So
I
Wendell, you use twice if else.
I use for if else.
Okay, I use if, else if, and else.
Ah,
Oh,
okay.
so
I
use the
use
lower
if,
one.
else if, and else.
Yeah, no,
I
this would
can
take a
show
while.
my I can show you my code if you like. If you
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Yeah, I just want to understand how people approach this question. You approach it with string, which is not something I thought of, but that could be
Yeah.
awesome.
I use this.
Okay, so
Oh,
string
Is
you give
option.
array,
list?
you use
Yeah.
array for this.
Yeah, it's a list. Array, I
Yeah,
don't
that is
know.
array. That's string array.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
and I put R, P, and S with
Yeah, array is
options.
more upgrade. I use just simple
Oh,
one, integer,
Yeah,
because we
yeah.
cannot use char uh, in
Yeah,
random.
char is don't work for me. I try, but don't work.
okay, interesting. But array is like choose between R, P, and S, right? Is that what array means?
Yeah, it's
Or
a list with R, P, and S.
oh, like then randomize the characters. Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, okay. That seems a little bit more uh advanced stage, but okay. And then what you did is if player choice to lower, so you put character equals to computer choice. Oh, I see. Okay, that's really straightforward.
Yeah, I
Okay, so
start
use
with
that.
a type,
Hmm.
and then I
I'll
put
say.
the with when you win, and then when the computer wins. And if you don't put R, P, or S, when you
Please
put
enter.
another letter, and then we say please enter with the R, P, or S.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I see. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the computer just chooses out of the array. Okay. Okay. Well, that's a little bit more advanced, but that makes sense. So you can randomize characters. I think that's something we learn later on. I'm not sure, but okay. Option
Sorry.
random.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can show mine also if you want to see.
Okay,
Yeah, definitely.
please
I want to
talk
see how you
about.
approach it with char though, because I think that's what he wanted us to follow, since that's what we learned so far, right? But array definitely makes it a lot more simpler. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
I know I read some about it online, the array,
Okay,
but I never implemented it.
can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I gave like this integer for rock, paper, and scissor 1, 2, 3. When you prompt, you just give the codes, and
Mm,
it's like more easier form of code.
guess random
Yeah.
int.
Like random choose into the user chose, user user random, and you are the winner.
Okay.
When they are equal, the result is tie. Else,
Mhm.
the computer is winner.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand the beginning though. So you said randomize, random generator equals new random, and then you
Yeah,
assign RPS to an integer value, and then
yeah,
you want to randomize. Okay, so then you convert integer. Okay, so that the the person who writes down the code. Okay, wait. So the person that writes down the code, if you write R, it's 1, 2, or 3. Oh, I
yeah.
see how you approached it.
I'll show the look like in prompt I gave one. One is rock.
Yeah.
Just oh sorry.
Oh, so they have to write a number, or you have to write a number?
I use integer, gave one, and the random also choose one. The result is tie.
I
I
see.
gave
So if they put R, it's
three.
a 1. Okay.
Yeah, like one. I didn't use char. We
Mm-hmm.
cannot use char. That's why I gave assembled them to integers.
Mm-hmm.
When I wrote one and also random chooses, for example, I choose three, random is one, the winner is computer. I choose
Yeah,
two, computer choose one. Sorry. Two is paper, one is rock. Paper close the rock, and the winner is me, the user.
I see. No, yours makes sense in my head because you
Yeah,
turned whatever they inputted, a letter, into a value,
yeah,
but then that's interesting because I guess you converted it. Yeah, convert to N32. Okay, so wait. So
yeah.
if they entered
We
R,
have
it would be
we
1.
have
Okay.
2 minutes. When the it will stop. 5 minute breaks. I'll convert the video and came back with new link. Okay,
Yeah, no worries. We
just
can talk about it
just
later.
you'll wait 5 minutes.
No, it's a good
Okay,
Okay.
conclusion though.
okay, you got it. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. I didn't think you'd approach the question like this. That's for sure. I thought people would approach it with char, but you approach it with integer, which is, I guess, a really simple approach though. Look
Yeah,
at it.
it's a
Okay.
simple and easiest way.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm mostly try I'm trying to use what we learn in the class. Like
Yeah.
if it is if, I'm trying to use if. If we are going to do switch, I'm going to do switch. Like I got the program. Okay, we
Mm-hmm.
can use other forms. For example, for if nested if, we can use also switch, but I only use nested if.
Yeah, I
Like,
see.
what's the instruction? I'm trying to use that part.
The instruction?
Uh,
Okay, I'll stop share. Okay, see you in 5 minutes. Okay?
okay.
Yep, see you in
Okay.
5 minutes, no worries.
Not.
Then start. No. You can do anything. The lab. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, we are here.
Okay.
Sorry about that. My audio was not working.
Can you do the lab? Go.
Sorry, what do you say?
You do the lab.
Did I do the
Lab
lab yet?
1, lab 2.
I did not do the lab yet. I know. Fenzer is like, I can't wait for you to do the lab. And I'm like, what do you mean? You mean you can't wait?
No, I didn't begin also.
You didn't begin also.
Yeah, assignment is more easier. I'm trying to finish it.
I go for the easy stuff, I
Then
see.
left all my time for lab 2.
Okay. Well, we could talk about it a little. We don't have to, since we don't have all the
Yeah, we can talk about it.
So,
Yeah.
okay, besides the remark, let's see what the lab is about. I did remember losing marks for the lab because I didn't put out like a specific. I remember the last lab was the IPO column. Yeah, I
Yeah,
lost
I
marks.
also don't remember talking about this. Converting inch to centimeter, Fahrenheit for Celsius. I'll search a little bit
So
before
the funny thing is, I think there's already formulas to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius because I think I just did this with Math 175. But there's also, I think, a formula to convert inches to centimeters.
Yeah, their codes. I
Oh.
think we'll do calculating like 1 inch is 2.5. Like
Mm-hmm. 1 inch is like 2.5. Let me see.
we'll give inch and
Uh-huh.
ask to calculate to centimeter.
To convert inch to centimeter, multiply given inch by 2.5 centimeter. Oh, okay.
Like a user should enter a number between 1 to 3 and get to any of the above parts. Oh, like 3 inch equal uh,
3 inch would
three
equal
3 multiple 2.5.
5.4, yeah.
Yeah,
And
we'll
3
do
Fahrenheit
calculation.
meters. Yeah, you got it.
When we began to talk about it, I figure out what to do.
But here's the interesting part. If you write, oh wait, so converting inch. Oh, so when you write the program, it has to convert. Well, the thing is, they said users should enter a number between 1 to 3 to get these, right? So you don't have to do the
Yeah.
calculations for the first part. You just have to write the equations, unless they
Yeah,
put the values in. And then when they put 4, it should terminate the program. So I think that's default, error, console write error, and then
then we'll
it
use
exits
a
automatically.
switch case.
You can use a switch case, or you can write
Switch statement like case 1, case 2, case 3, and the default.
exactly. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be like that'll look nice. So that makes sense. Press any number should be handled by code. Okay, so yeah, this is the interesting one. 4 should be like not error, but it
Terminate
should be
the
like you know how
program.
when we enter like after default, it just exits out of the program because it can't do anymore. It has to be that, but then if you press any other number, it has to be out of range. So that's an interesting point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's an interesting point. We'll probably have to research how to do that for
that's
sure. I
why
think
we'll
you
get
can
two
teach that.
marks. Interesting and difficult. That's why 2 marks.
For sure.
Yeah.
In this
Yeah,
part, you need to ask the user to enter the measurements in inches.
and
Okay, so yeah, here in this one, if you write
equivalent.
case 1 and you wrote 1, you could write code specific here. So you could be like, if I enter, what is the inches, right? Constant
In part
inches.
2, it will calculate, yeah?
Yeah. Part 2 is like
Yeah.
this one, the formula for this one. Part 3 will
Yeah,
be the same thing.
yeah, same.
Yeah.
Part 4
The main
is
part is 1.
so part 1, the main part that I think we're gonna have to learn is how to exit a code, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I think that's it. Because then if you enter 5, we just say out of range. Try again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we could do a return code for this. I don't know if he didn't teach us that yet, but we could write a return code to go back to the original thing, right? So we could do that. Part 4, this is the quadratic. So in quadratic,
Yeah.
they're gonna ask for 3
Yeah, code
variables.
multiplication.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then after calculating delta, you have to show. So I have to remember the equation correctly. Is it y equals mx plus b? Oh, that's not quadratic. Sorry, that's slope. Let me get quadratic formula pulled up real quick. Okay, well, I'm not gonna write all that. It's gonna be a little too much. Actually, I can write it all. X equals b. Okay, so it's like, let me just write this all out. And then, actually, I can't write it all. Okay, so when they ask for A, B, and C, we know
Yeah.
like A is important because if A is 0, that makes the bottom, because you remember quadratic formula, it's negative B plus or minus the radical divided by 2A. The radical is B square root of B squared minus 4AC.
Okay.
In case I don't, if you search up the quadratic formula, you can see the formula, but the denominator can't be 0. We know that because the 0 that's undefined.
Yeah.
So he says you have to remember that going forward because oh yeah, it's called discriminant, I think. Discriminant. Sorry. Like, what is it? Wait, I'm just trying to find out what the discriminant is. I think it's not working. Yeah, so the discriminant is under the square root. So b squared minus 4ac. So he's saying if discriminant is positive, there are 2 distinct roots. Please calculate these 2 roots. Yeah, that's true. If it's 0, that means there's 1 root. And if there's negative,
Negative, it has
that technically
non-real.
means there is no roots, no real roots, but like nothing touches the x-axis. So I mean, it sounds complicated, but it makes sense. Like if you search it up, what discriminant means. Please only explain that the equation has 2 distinct non-real roots. Okay, so I guess this is the answer for the last one. You just write 2 distinct non-real roots, unless you can find the roots. So yeah, when you code this, you have to be you have to show. Oh, so I guess they're asking for the discriminant. Discriminant is, they're not asking for like what is the quadratic, what is x, right? X from the quadratic formula. They're asking for whether it's positive or negative, whatever is inside the square root. And if it's square root, if there is 1 real root, 2 real roots, or no real roots. And we have to show that.
Yeah.
But I guess he wouldn't mind if we give the answer, but like he didn't say it here, so you don't have to. Yeah, okay, okay. 2 real roots, please calculate. Oh wait, please calculate these 2. Oh, okay, so we have to find these roots. Never mind. See 2 real roots as x1, x2. Display it as x. I need to show them. Okay, part 5, using proper documentation, commenting on what you're doing.
And what variables you have used and so on.
Sorry, what?
Well, explain.
Which one do you want me to explain?
Part 5, what we are going to do.
I can explain, no worries. Okay,
We
so this
need
is
to
like
put
commented.
a comment in
Yeah, commenting
in
will
line.
write the comment like what we did, yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What variables you used using proper attributes and values that values have 2 marks. Okay, yeah. So part 5 is just like explain it to me simpler. Like okay. So I guess the real question or the real complicated part is
3.
this one and maybe this one.
Yeah.
And we know when x, or I'm just saying greater than 5. Oh, so I could see that this is not a very difficult lab, but it's definitely going to take a while to understand these 2 points.
Default part is 5, yeah? 5 and great
Yeah.
number.
So the entire thing is pretty much do this. First, make cases for each of these conditions. And then within the cases, you gotta convert inches to centimeter. Second case, convert Fahrenheit to Celsius. That's 2 marks. That's 2 marks. And the quadratic one is also 2 marks. So if it's case 3, do the quadratic formula, but you gotta show the distinct 2 roots that occur if
If
discriminant is
positive.
positive. Yep. And then so this might be another if else statement. So inside the case 3, it's another if else type of condition. But I think it's understandable because what we're trying to find is if the discriminant is positive, so it's greater than 0, equal to 0, or less than 0. If you got that forward, yeah? So like if x is greater than 0 or discriminant is greater than 0, equal to a thing, those are the 3 conditions. Please explain. You don't need to show them. Okay. Yeah, you don't need to show these. Okay, good. Okay, so he doesn't want us to find the actual calculation. He just wants us to explain that there's this. Okay. Uh, and then part 3 is this comment. Okay, this is not too difficult. It's gonna take a little bit of research, but that's about it.
Yeah,
Do you guys have any questions? Sorry.
question 9 in assignment about quadrant. Like
Question 9 about. Oh, for assignment 9?
yeah, for assignment 5. Question 9 is to write a program to calculate the roots of the quadratic equation.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I
Okay.
haven't got there, but have you done it yet? Or
I didn't.
oh, you didn't. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, I just
I'm gonna get on it later today,
yeah,
possibly, or
there
just
is
tomorrow.
yeah, there is like picture. It's explaining what to do.
Oh, question 9. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can share
question
screen it.
9.
Yeah, we can approach this question now. We just all have a general idea. I hope it's showing my. Oh, it's showing my screen. Oh well. I hope this is better. Yeah. Okay. So question 9, quadratic formula. So we have the start. We accept 3 values, A, B, and C.
Yeah,
Now oh, sorry. Yeah, A, B, and C. Now, if A is equal to 0, and that's true, that means invalid input,
valid
and that
if
means it fails. Yeah, that makes sense in quadratic. That makes it, I forgot what happens when the fraction has a 0 underneath. It's not a real value at that point, right? So Okay. And then if it's false, that means we could do the discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac. I don't know what p is, but yeah. And if discriminant is greater than 0, which we just learned, if it is greater than 0, that means it's true. If it's equal to 0, that means it has one root. If it's greater than if it's greater than 0, that means it has two roots. If it's equal to 0, that means it has one root. If it has no zeros, that means it has no real roots, right?
Yeah, less than 0, equal to 0. No, less than 0 is false.
False. Okay,
Yeah.
if that happens, we still do the same equation here and we display 2pqi. I wonder what qi is. Okay, so I see a lot of this like I'm thinking we can use Boolean statement. No, we can't use Boolean statements. Never mind, take it back. I don't want to use Boolean statements. Unless I have to, but I can't edit this. Okay. So I'm thinking if you want to approach this question, you're gonna have to write the inputs. So you're gonna have to write like, please enter your A, your B, and your C. So what's your constant, what's your A value, what's your B value, right? I hope we don't have to explain it, what it is, but
Yeah.
I mean, if we do, we can just explain it. And then you could write if else statements, or you could write case statements. I think if else would, I don't
I
know
think if else.
if else could work, but then I'm thinking if else this has to be else and this is an if, right?
Yeah, if it's
If A
equal,
is equal to 0,
then
this
invalid
happens.
import.
Yeah, and it ends
Else
it. And else
false.
false, and then that means it moves on to the next if, right? So now it could be an else if
Else.
p
Yeah.
equals,
Yeah.
and then we say p. Oh, I'm gonna write d. I don't know if that's the ultra, but d b minus 4a. But I'm trying to think because then there's gonna be another if else, right? So okay, if the else happens, I guess we can make a new statement now, right? Because now we know a is not equal to 0, right? It could be negative or positive. So now we say we do this calculation and we say if else this happens, right? Or it could be case, or it could be a switch case. If d is greater than 0. Yeah, this part is interesting. I don't know how to approach this part.
Maybe if else if.
If else if. So you mean like if this statement or else this statement is true, if else d is greater than or equal to 0, or if d is greater than or equal to 0, this happens,
Yeah.
else this happens. But then what's the other if? If this happens, it's true. If this
What's at the
happens,
end?
it's just asking to display this and
Oh,
this. I don't know what qi is. I'm assuming he means just cube this.
maybe for a equal 0 false part will give if.
Hmm.
For true part will give else, and else is stopping the program.
So you want to if else, like something like that? If d is equal to greater than 0, or if d is not equal to 0, okay. Or d is less than
like
0, this happens.
for a equal 0 false part to give if, and then give nested if for true and false, d part, d more than equal 0, and for else part at the end to give a equal 0 true part. When a equal 0, it will stop the program.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's a good way to approach it. Yeah, I think this question is gonna take a bit of time to approach, just to understand it. But Okay, so far it makes sense. If this happens, then that happens. Alright. Yeah, overall I think this is just the nested conditions over here, the second part. But the
Yeah,
first part it could be if else. But then you're
if
saying you
else.
can approach it with if. So
If
if else
else and nested if
and
in
nested if
each,
for like this part.
yeah, second
Okay.
Yeah.
part.
Second half. Okay. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that's what you thought us, yeah.
nested, we'll just use if, nested if else and i- if statement, nested if inside of if.
Okay.
Yeah.
If yeah. Okay. If this is true. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, so far that makes sense. Okay. Did he ask us to do this question, or did he say like out of the 13 questions, this has to be done?
Yes, 13 from 15.
So he doesn't care about which 13 though, right? Like, did he specify you have to do 9, or did he say like just do 13 questions, your choice?
No, no, it's your choice. You
Okay.
can, yeah, you can skip question 9 if you can't.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
just certain of them, all of
yeah,
them.
it's not difficult. If anything, this is gonna be good practice for the test, upcoming test. But yeah, okay. So
No,
if
but
else,
at the end, we need to try this because our lab is about quotation,
oh yeah, for
quadratic
sure.
equation. Yeah, it is same, like we need to practice this.
Let me pull up the lab here. Okay, but I think the difference. Wait, is it asking for 2 roots in this one? P plus. What does P and Q mean? Display P plus Q and P minus Q. Oh, it's been a
Before
loss. Is a good
this,
question.
before doing this, I need to search.
Yeah, I recommend searching up quadratic formula just in case you haven't reviewed it, but it's pretty straightforward once you understand it. Okay. I'm just trying to understand, is P plus Q, P minus Q, x1 and x2? Uh, yeah, represent x-intercept. Oh, this is it. Yeah, so display what x-intercept P plus Q and P minus Q. Okay. But we know if D is equal to 0, there's only going to be one of these. Because it's going to be 0, 0.
Yeah, if equal and more, it's
Yeah.
true.
If D
If
is 0, it's 0 divided by 2a, which is 0, and if P plus 0,
yeah,
Yeah.
P minus 0, that's the same thing.
yeah,
So we
Mm-hmm.
have
but
to
when
display
it is
both
less,
answers.
it is false part.
Yeah.
Oh, so like another if-else statements, right? If Q is 0, that means it's just P. But if Q is greater than 0 here, then you say display this P plus Q, P minus Q, because they're 2 different variables. Okay.
Oh, you mean first one is if, the second one is else?
Yeah, so I'm saying here, once we determine that it's D is greater than or equal to 0 right here,
Yeah,
sorry.
okay.
So once we state that, we have to, like it says here, to display what P plus Q and P minus Q is, right? But if we display that, Q is 0. If D is 0, which is a valid condition,
Yeah,
uh,
Q is 0 over there.
D is 0 divided by 2a is 0, so it'd be P plus 0, P minus 0, right? So it would say display P and P. And I think I think that doesn't make sense, right? That it should display, like, if my P is 4, it shouldn't be 4 and 4. It should be like my variables are 4. So instead I
No,
could write
it
another if
can be,
else.
a D can be also 2, not 0.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe we could write another if and else condition to say if it is 0, you just display this once. You don't have to display it like both of them, right? Just to make it look neater, right? It won't be simpler, but it'll look neater on the user interface, which I maybe that's what he's hoping. If not, like we could do this as it is. But like, yeah, if it's 0, we could just write if Q is 0, just display P. But if Q is not 0, we go to this. Right? Because then
Oh,
P plus Q would be different values. And then the stops, yeah. The stops. And if Q is less than 0, yeah,
less
just
than
something
0.
else.
Yeah, if it's negative.
If it's negative, you don't need to do another if else condition. Just will always have a value. It just won't be good values. But yeah, okay. Not bad. Yeah, so
It
this is
will
one nested
will
condition
took
here.
time.
Are we out of time now?
We have time. No,
Oh.
I mean the coding will took time.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would definitely take time.
We have, I think, I begin recording at 50. It's 25 minutes, I think I'm recording.
Okay. No, that's good. I just want to say, like, if I'm gonna approach this question maybe tomorrow, just because I want to get coding done, that way I could start practicing the challenge questions on Thursday before Friday. So I'll let you guys know what I did for my solution on this part, and you guys can check the code if you want, just to make it a lot easier for you to understand.
Due time is Saturday, yeah? I think it's
Due time,
Saturday.
it is actually
Saturday, yeah, 14, Saturday.
for both, right? Yeah. And do we have reading week after that? No, it's the week after that week. Yeah. Reading week's October 20th, if I remember correct. 23. Okay. Well, I'm glad we're doing the test early, though. Don't want to stress about that. What was I gonna say? Yeah. If
And
you guys
what
have
else?
questions, though, I could definitely
Yeah,
show
I
my
want to
code, but
ask,
afterwards.
do you have questions?
Let me check.
I don't have.
Do we have tests? We have tests for this week.
Yeah. First class.
Oh, first test.
Yeah,
First
on
test.
Friday. Yeah.
And all the parts, yeah, do while also.
He said you could do the challenge questions, but I'm
Till
confused.
till last week, also same. I think yesterday coach answered that question, I think. Yeah, including what we learned in last session, which is do while, all the parts,
Yeah, you have to
all,
practice.
all statements like if, switch, do while.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He
Is
said
there a lot of
it's
do
three
whiles in
questions.
assignment 5?
What?
Do we have a lot of do whiles in assignment 5?
No, I don't
No.
do.
But we have to know it for the
No,
test.
we are not using do while in assignment.
Right,
I
okay.
don't think it's just switch.
It is only switch
And method
statement.
is
Exercise
yeah,
using the switch statement for assignment 5.
Okay.
yeah,
But for the test, we have to know do while.
yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Now, do while, I think it will be next week.
Oh, for
Yeah,
next week's
I
assignment.
think
probably.
no, I think in assignment 6 will
Yeah,
be.
assignment.
Yeah.
Okay. No worries. Huh. That's good.
Okay, if you don't have any questions or topics, we can stop the recording.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is enough content for now.
Yeah.
How we approach. And if you have more questions, we could always talk to each other, message Coach Reza. So
Yeah, I'll stop recording.